your screen a live look right now in West Palm Beach at Trump International Golf Course. The rain is starting to pour down, but you can see that it is still a very active situation as investigators try to piece together exactly what happened and what led up to this, a second attempted assassination in the course of about 2 months. The first one against the former president was in a rally back in July in Butler, Pennsylvania, and yet it has happened again at a golf course while Trump was golfing earlier today. Reports of those shots fired at about 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Units have sealed off the area. The suspect is in custody at this moment. They have jumped out of bushes and into a black Nissan. Witnesses were able to let police know what kind of car that suspect drove off in and also provided a license plate number to police. Then the Martin County Sheriff's Office was able to pull that suspect over on I-95, taking them into custody. Witnesses later identifying that suspect. In the latest, we know that that suspect has been identified as Ryan Wesley Ruth. An AK-style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks, and a GoPro was recovered at the scene. The FBI saying this is an attempted assassination against Trump. Trump is safe. He was about 300 to 500 yards away from the shooter when this all went down. It is a story that we will continue to follow here at Live Now from Fox. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more headlines next.
Trade in any phone in any condition for the new Google Pixel 9 with Gemini.
Show me a video that helps with my back. Thanks, Coach.
Only on Verizon.
Hi! Need new glasses? Buy one pair, get one.
Lo remodeló y lo convirtió en un hotel.
Make your mornings count with NBC 10.
And North Carolina, we're already looking at tropical storm watches for winds, for storm surge, and for a lot of heavy rain. Some of that rain will be headed up in our direction, giving us much needed rain for the
The bulk of that rain activity will linger closer to the coastline. Places like Mobile going to be seeing those showers and storms. Stick with us. The rest of your regional forecasts are coming up all through the next hour, 30 and 50 past.
Trade in any phone in any condition for the new Google Pixel 9 with Gemini.
Show me a video that helps with my back. Thanks, Coach.
Involvement in war against Moscow. Mick Ryan spent 35 years in the Australian Army, including operational deployments in East Timor, southern Afghanistan and Iraq, as well as serving as a strategist on the United States Joint Staff in the Pentagon. He told me whether allowing Ukraine to fire long-range missiles into Russia would drag the West and NATO directly into the war.
NATO has been supporting Ukraine for 32 months of this war so far, and ever since Russia invaded Ukraine in 2014. NATO was, already there. Russia has accepted that, And at the end of the day, this is not an escalation to allow Ukraine to use Western missiles appropriately. It's playing catch-up.
And is Ukraine taking the fight into Russian territory a good strategy?
Absolutely. I mean, the laws of war allow a country to attack someone who is posing a threat from military bases and other strategic systems within their country. We should remember here, Russia is the aggressor state. They started this war. Ukraine is trying to end it in a way that sees Russia leave Ukrainian territory.
Ukraine has had to defend itself to date, given that, as you say, we're 2.5 years into this war?
Well, after 32 months, the aid has been much appreciated by the Ukrainians, certainly helped, but it's done nothing to help them win this war. At the end of the day, we've seen these discussions on just about every form of equipment provided to Ukraine, whether it's towed artillery, air defence, tanks or F-16s. The interminable delay on providing sufficient quantities of equipment has hurt Ukraine, not helped it.
And how do you see Putin, or how do you think Russia will react if Ukraine is able to use these long-range missiles and take the fight further into Russia?
Well, the reason Putin is complaining is because he knows this will hurt Russia. He appears to have the measure of the US administration. He's able to manipulate them around their terrors over escalation. So I think he'll just continue doing that at this point in time, because he's worried any appropriate use of long-range weapons that have really significant warheads will hurt his military even further.
So if Ukraine are getting support or more support in the aspect of getting more arms from the West, Russia, it seems, also is receiving shipments from Iran, missiles from them. How much does that help them?
Well, it helps them a lot. It helps them to sustain their long-range strikes against Ukraine, which they've been doing since day one of this war. It allows them to attack the Ukrainian troops on the front line with these short and medium-range ballistic missiles that Iran has provided. And it allows them to continue this slow, grinding attack in the Donbass with the ammunition that's been provided by North Korea.
Public hearings into the Titan submersible disaster are set to begin on Monday. The sub, owned by the US company OceanGate, was taking passengers down to the wreck of the Titanic when it imploded, killing all 5 people on board. Rebecca Morrell has more.
It was the sub that promised the trip of a lifetime, a chance to see the Titanic. But OceanGate's Titan sub suffered a catastrophic failure, killing all 5 people on board. Now a public hearing will try to answer some key questions. Did the passengers have any warning something was going wrong? Those who died were British explorer Hamish Harding, Suleiman Dawood and his father, British-Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood, French diver P.H. Nargiole and Stockton Rush, OceanGate's CEO. A communications log could show if there were signs Titan was failing, but deep-sea experts like Victor Vescovo had serious safety concerns. He had taken his friend Hamish Harding on a dive to see the Mariana Trench. He had warned Hamish about OceanGate's sub.
I told him in no uncertain terms that he should not get in the submersible, and I'll never forget, he told me he thought that it was safe enough. And I said, Hamish, I'm not sure what else I can say after that. I wouldn't go if I were you. He really, really wanted to see the Titanic.
A crucial question is which part of the submersible failed.
This is a full-sized model of the Titan sub. There were significant issues with different parts of its design. Concerns had been raised about its viewport and whether it could cope with the pressure at the bottom of the Atlantic. The central area where the passengers were is called the pressure hull. Most subs are spherical, so the effects of the immense forces are evenly spread, but this was cylindrical. This section was made from carbon fibre, a material that's unpredictable at depth and would have been weakened by every previous dive the sub had made. Then there were the titanium end rings, which connected different parts of the sub together. But these junctions between metal and carbon fibre could have created weak points.
The OceanGate contraption was an aberration. You know, the thing was so amateurish in its execution. The ideas that I saw, many of which were really half-baked, it just led me to believe that thing's actually never going to dive.
So how was Titan allowed to dive? The sub wasn't assessed by an independent safety assessment. It's not mandatory. OceanGate's Stockton Rush said he didn't need a piece of paper to show Titan was